I am Homo sapiens.
The Devonian period, also known as the Age of Fishes, spanned approximately 419.2 to 358.9 million years ago. It is the middle period of the Paleozoic era. The period is named after the Devon region in England, where the first evidence of this time was found. During this period, there is clear evidence of life forms that originated in the ocean moving out of the water and onto land. However, crustaceans had already begun to venture onto land by the end of the preceding Silurian period. Although this period is primarily known for the development of fish, it also saw significant plant evolution, which laid a strong foundation for the presence of terrestrial life on Earth. This period also marks the early development of tetrapods, or four-limbed creatures, whose genetic code is used in the structure of human hands and feet. This means that our ancient biological ancestors were evolving during this time, and this will be further discussed in the video. The discussion of this period in the video will be divided into 4 parts. First, continents and climate. Second, plants and vegetation. Third, the animals of this time. And fourth, the end of the Devonian period and extinction. Continents and climate. During the Devonian period, the Earth's main continental land masses included Laurasia and Gondwana. Laurasia was located in the northern hemisphere and included parts of present-day North America, Europe, and Asia. Gondwana, located in the southern hemisphere, included present-day South America, Africa, Australia, Antarctica, and the Indian subcontinent. The tectonic activities of these continents led to the formation of mountain ranges, notably the Caledonian and Acadian ranges. The Devonian climate was relatively warm and stable, characterized by global warming conditions, with higher sea temperatures, yet favorable for both marine and terrestrial life. The high temperatures and humid environment encouraged plant growth and the expansion of forests. Due to the increase in plant presence, atmospheric oxygen levels gradually rose during this period, making land life more hospitable for terrestrial organisms. However, towards the end of the Devonian period, there is some regional evidence of a decline in oxygen or anoxia, which proved detrimental to marine ecosystems and is linked to the extinction events at the end of this period. Plants and vegetation. The fossil record of plants from the Devonian period provides scientists with deep insights into the evolution of plants during this era. These fossils offer information about the structure of various plants, their reproductive systems, and their environmental adaptations. Before the Devonian period, in the Silurian period, the plants on Earth's surface were relatively small and simple, as discussed in previous videos. However, during the Devonian period, more complex plants evolved. Plants began to spread across the Earth's surface, laying the foundation for the first forests. Initially, bryophytes, which have been discussed in detail in earlier sections, and early pteridophytes, fern species of plants, spread in terrestrial environments. From these, lycophytes and ferns developed later in this period. Lycophytes were among the earliest vascular plants, evolving into small trees and shrubs. These plants had simple leaves and small spores. Some ferns developed larger leaves and more complex reproductive systems. The Devonian period also witnessed the early development of seeds in plants, which was a significant change in the plant kingdom. Seeds allowed plants to spread into drier and harsher environments. The earliest seed-bearing plants, known as progymnosperms, began to appear toward the end of the Devonian period. These early progymnosperms, meaning early seed plants and the first woody plants, referred to as Archaeopteris, were among the most prominent of their time. These early trees were among the most advanced plants of their era, featuring woody trunks and leaves that were capable of more effectively capturing sunlight. Trees like Archaeopteris developed in the later stages of this period, and they could grow up to 10 to 12 meters tall. By the end of the Devonian period, not only ferns but also plants like Archaeopteris had spread extensively across the land. However, it is important to note that while these plants provided shade and moisture, they should not be considered part of the diet. Most of them produced chemicals like resins and phenols, which were difficult for animals to digest. Among herbivores, only some insects could consume the softer parts of these plants. These insects eventually evolved into larger creatures in the Carboniferous period. At that time, plants were mainly food for bacteria and fungi, which decomposed them to form soil. Animals of Devonian period. The Devonian period witnessed significant developments in various animal forms. During this time, there was a great diversity of marine invertebrates. Several species of bryozoans, brachiopods, and mollusks also thrived during this era. Corals and reefs continued to expand in the oceans, providing habitats and nutrition sources for marine life. However, there is no doubt that fish dominated marine life, and many new fish species emerged during this period. This includes the evolution of several new-jawed fish species, such as placoderms, which were among the earliest vertebrates. Among the fish of this time, a particular type known as lobe-finned fishes evolved, which is one of the two major fin types in fish. These lobe-finned fishes gave rise to creatures with structures resembling hands and fingers, from which our own human limbs eventually developed. In this way, lobe-finned fishes are considered ancient ancestors of humans, especially regarding the genetic code used for our hand and foot structure. Towards the end of the Devonian period, certain changes occurred in the bones of the fins of these lobe-finned fishes, which gradually began to take the form of limbs for other uses. These changes led to the development of creatures that are considered ancestors of modern amphibians, reptiles, and other aquatic or terrestrial vertebrates, known as tetrapods, vertebrates with forelimbs. These tetrapods were the ancient creatures that made the transition from water to land and gave rise to all terrestrial vertebrates, as well as some aquatic ones, such as marine mammals like whales. In addition, other large mammals found around us today, including snakes, birds, and all other mammals, humans included, evolved from these tetrapods and are themselves tetrapods. The first creature believed to have made the transition from the sea to land is Tiktaalik, which dates back to the Devonian period. Tiktaalik was an amphibious creature that lived around 375 million years ago. It is considered a transitional form between fish and amphibians, being one of the first to venture out of the water and start walking on land. Technically, Tiktaalik is not classified as a tetrapod but as a tetrapodomorph, as it is an extinct species. Tiktaalik had fins like a fish, but within these fins, bones had developed that resembled limbs, allowing it to walk on land. It is evident that both amphibians and reptiles evolved from these tetrapods. The earliest amphibians are believed to be creatures like Ichthyostoga and Acanthostoga. These creatures evolved around 370 million years ago during the Devonian period. They were early tetrapods capable of living both in water and on land. However, during the Devonian period, they still spent most of their time in water and were not fully adapted to a terrestrial life. During this time, the evolution of some large marine creatures, such as large sharks and Dunkleistos, also took place. The end of the Devonian period and extinction. The Devonian period ended with a mass extinction event, known as the Devonian Carboniferous extinction. This extinction event particularly affected marine life, leading to the extinction of many species, including reef-building corals and other marine organisms. There is still debate among scientists about the causes of this extinction, but the combined effects of global cooling, oxygen depletion, and continental tectonics are considered likely factors. Towards the end of the Devonian period, climate changes led to a global cooling event, which caused a drop in sea levels and adversely affected marine life. This event, also referred to as the Devonian Carboniferous glaciation, was responsible for widespread species extinction during this period. The development of new types of forests with trees and plants during the Devonian period not only increased stability and complexity in ecosystems, but also had a profound impact on the Earth's atmosphere and climate. The evolution of plants during the Devonian period marked the beginning of today's diversity and stability of terrestrial life. Similarly, the Devonian period was a crucial era for the evolution of tetrapods and the transition of newly evolved terrestrial species onto land.